This is actually better than a lot of Italian restaurants I've eaten.
Yeah. Well, in Japan, they do Italian food better than the Italians do in Italy.
Oh my God, can you say that? From instant noodle packets to neighborhood noodle bars, ramen has become one of Japan's chief cultural exports in the US. Last week, I met with Keizo Shimamoto and Sakura Yagi for a crash course in Japanese ramen styles. But today, I'm interested in seeing how ramen is blazing new trails in New York City.
A lot of the time-tested techniques, too, go a long way. Like, you learn from your father, you learn from your father.
And you put a different twist on it. Exactly.
Yeah.
My first stop is Niche, where chef Jack Nakamura is using mazemen, a brothless style of ramen, to create an experimental form of Japanese pasta. Joining me is Frank Pinello, Mark Iacono, Carlo Carciotto, and Anthony Vitolo. I'm hoping some of my favorite Italian-American chefs can help me connect the dots between ramen and red sauce.
私が日本でラーメンショップをやってた頃は実はお客さんである日本人からの評価っていうのは少し怖かったところがあってやっぱりちょっと例えば今私がやってるようなチーズとかトマトとかあとはサーモンとかそういうその普通はラーメンには使ってないような食材を使われるとこんなのラーメンじゃないよって言われる時代が非常に大きかったその長かったんですね。でも誰がそんなこと気にするのかなとそれ言ってみればもちろん作ってる人の表現力っていうのは、食べ手によって全然その評価が違う。私はもっと純粋にそれが美味しいかどうか面白いかどうか、未来につながっているかどうかっていうのをすごくなんだろう大事にしたかった。これから今まで自分はラーメンという文化に惹かれたレールを歩んでたんですけどじゃあこれからのラーメンのレールって自分が引くべきじゃないの自分たち今ここでやってるラーメン屋さんたちが、古きを重んじて、次の時代に何を残せるかということが、大きいと思うので私は、ニューヨークでとかあとは世界中で起きているこんなのラーメンじゃないかもしれないけどすごい面白いねこれ未来のラーメンからしてみればすごい画期的なことやってんじゃないのというのをみんなで作り合えれば素敵だなと思ってます。
Thank you so much for joining me here today at Niche, which is Jack Nakamura's restaurant where he features mazemen, which is a brothless type of ramen. Chef Nakamura considers this Japanese pasta, so I thought who better to enjoy this with than New York City's most beloved Italian-American chefs. Enjoy!
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Sure, we're the most beloved Italian-American chefs.
I was told you are, so your reputation must precede you.
Wait, what do you say in Japanese?
Itadakimasu.
I'm just gonna say bon appetito.
Bon appetito.
Good, fair enough.
Thank you, chef.
First dish I made is a crème de bacon. I made a sauce from the double smoked homemade bacon mixed with a whole wheat noodle. And then also Szechuan peppercorn from Japan. Put the Parmesan Reggiano and then some poached egg.
Is it okay if I use a fork and not a chopstick?
You know what? I think it's totally fine and it kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Since we want to make it like Italian-esque,
exactly,
right? So,
exactly.
Because if you brought chopsticks to them, they would think that you'd use this as like a match to light a cigarette. So.
This is really good. This is really good.
Delicious, chef. Thank you.
Have any of you ever tried brothless ramen before?
Never. This is my first time.
Oh, how about ramen?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Everyone gets drunk.
Twice.
And need something quick.
Of course.
Eat it, after a night out in the bar.
I've had brothless ramen before.
Really? How'd you like it?
I really enjoy it. I mean, I love all types of Japanese noodles. I think udon is probably my favorite.
Really?
It's like the thick.
Yeah.
It reminds me like a bucatini. We eat a lot of bucatini, especially in Sicily. Pasta chi sardi.
Bravo, pasta con sardi.
I've been waiting a long time for someone to fuse my two favorite cuisines together.
Two favorites, Japanese and Italian. The honor.
If I was at an Italian restaurant right now, and you brought this out to me like this, I would have thought that this was pasta carbonara from maybe a different region of Italy with a twist. I would have never thought. And
you wouldn't think it's Japanese.
And I would have never thought it was Japanese. This is actually very, very good.
Awesome.
This is actually better than a lot of Italian restaurants I've eaten.
Yeah. Well, in Japan, they do Italian food better than the Italians.
Well, is it true?
Oh my God, can you say that?
Is it true that the Chinese
They invented the noodles?
So
Yeah.
They did.
That's why
They did.
that's why I took this position to come here today. I said, if they mastered it, we gotta know what we're doing over here. Right?
One way of looking at it.
Did you finish yours already?
He finished it.
You gotta slow down.
I'm
We got a lot
starving.
of food to eat today.
The other three dishes was rosenro, chili tomato, and then the yuzu dashi bongole. Rosenro, which is that's inspired from the Rosen daughters. I wanted to use the smoked salmon. That's also the homemade, mixed with cod fish roll, and also use the salmon roll as well. Third dish was chili tomato. It was a vegan, homemade tomato chili sauce with topping of mushroom, cauliflower, and broccoli. And then the last dish was yuzu dashi bongole. It's like a Japanese dashi version of a bongole. The clam juice mixed with yuzu dashi, and then a little bit of mania clam, and also cabbage tsukemono.
It's like a linguine vongole, huh?
Look, see? My man's on point.
There you go.
He's on point. He knows.
That at all.
Chef, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
Because we're all from Italy here, especially me and him, we have a Sicilian origin, Naples.
Naples.
Did you have a concept of mixing an Italian ingredients, or did you just fall into that the ingredients came by coincidence like that?
This is New York, so
Yes.
it's a very mixed culture.
Of course.
Of course, I love Italian culture
Of
like
course.
this. It's a base, and also my culture is Japanese, so
Yes.
I want to mix with something Japanese ingredients. So
Yes.
I use the ramen noodle, which is very different of the pasta. Its protein content is different, more chewier, more stickier.
You're done? Can I eat? This is sitting in front of me. It looks
Want to eat,
amazing.
buddy?
Yes, I do.
That was really good.
Is there a name for this? Like, this fusion yet?
I don't think so.
Ooh, that's like a calabrese dish.
Sweat.
Holy shit.
It's like that?
I think Chef's been around a couple places in Italy.
Yeah.
It seems like to me.
No, this guy knows what he's
He
doing.
knows what he's
Yeah, he
doing.
definitely used the calabrese chili.
I've grown up going to Sicily my entire life. My family's from Italy. We used to go to these amazing restaurants. This one restaurant we went to, which was a seafood restaurant, had all these pictures on the wall of all these Japanese chefs that were coming to the restaurant to learn from one of the head chefs. I started asking around, I was like, is this a thing? Like opening up Italian restaurants in Japan? And they were like, absolutely. You know, tons of Japanese students come to Europe, whether it's France, Italy, Spain, and learn European food and then come back to Japan and do it. The research that I found was that a lot of these restaurants were just phenomenal. The way that Japanese culture is, it's so specific and so they take so much pride, I think, in everything that they do.
Yeah.
No shortcuts taken.
Right.
And I think that like lends itself to really great cuisine if you're trying to mimic Italian food.
I've been banging my head against the wall trying, trying to, again, two of my favorite cuisines, and it's a true fusion of Italian and Asian. Chef nailed it.
Yeah,
he really did.
He hit the nail on the head. If you're gonna take Japanese food and try to combine it with Italian food, the most logical thing to do is take like ramen, right, and make pastas with it.
The name I give to it, Itolonese.
Itolonese.
So I'm gonna say why.
I gotta hire this kid for marketing or something, man.
I think in my master market, maybe that's why. So what do they call Italian Americans? Italian Americans in Thailand they call Italo Americani. Japanese as Itolonese. I think this is Itolonese on the spot. Chef, I'm confirming this as Itolonese cuisine. You don't have to worry. Just agree and accept. All right, cheers to the chef, good food, and good company.
Thank you
Good
very
people,
much, guys.
thank you.
Thank you. Gochi-sousama deshita. Back at Ramen Shack, Keizo is ready to serve Sakura and I his crown jewel, the ramen burger. Keizo created the dish as a link between LA burger culture and Japanese festival food, and the item helped pave the way for a new Instagrammable era of ramen innovation in the US.
I can't let you guys leave without dessert. So this is my ramen burger. So in Japan, they have sort of like a similar thing at the festivals over there, but the way they make it is with the pork chashu. Growing up in California eating burgers and ramen, it was just naturally that a burger would have beef. And so I put a beef patty in between the ramen buns, and it just went crazy. Even though the bun gets all the recognition, I think the shoyu sauce, which takes about 6 hours to make, is really the soul of this burger.
Itadakimasu.
It's messy.
This is great. They're holding shape perfectly, and it's not iwakan ga nai. There's nothing like strange about it, you know?
Yeah, these noodles are also made fresh at my factory.
Yeah, I can tell.
We take the same noodles and form them into the buns.
It's really cute.
Yeah, it is very cute and very Instagrammable.
Yeah, definitely.
The ramen burger has inspired a lot of different types of ramen dishes that are no longer dependent on being in a bowl. I've heard of a ramen pizza and a ramen burrito. What would you say is going like too far?
To me, I think as long as it tastes good, then it's not going too far. The ramen burger was actually not meant to be a viral creation for me. So even now, 6 years later, you know, we still see long lines at Smorgasburg, and I guess, you know, I'm really ureshi that people still enjoy it.
Where do you feel like the ramen scene is gonna go next?
I think the ramen scene in America, it still has yet to boom. They say the ramen boom in Japan happened in the 90s, but in America, even though ramen has become popular and more shops are coming over, it's still like at that real beginning stage. You see all these ramen freaks online, Instagram. There's a whole group of home ramen cooks that do pop-ups every now and then in like all these different cities across the world. And especially in New York, there's a young chef by the name of Josh Reisner.
Yay, Josh!
Yeah, he's a cute little kid. He's a lot taller now, but he was on MasterChef Junior, and he's really has a passion for ramen. You know, I try to teach him whatever I can. He's always willing to learn. He works in other kitchens like fine dining as well, so he gets these ideas from fine dining, and then he takes my traditional techniques and he starts to create his own thing. And I think that's the future of ramen right there. You know, these young kids that are becoming professionals and really blending the techniques and bringing it together to create the new regional style.
My name is Josh Reisner. I'm 16 years old. I'm a junior in high school, and I am a ramen chef. I definitely have not eaten as much as Keizo. Like 2015, I used to eat like 300 bowls a year. And when I went to Japan, it was like 30 in 21 days. But that was like the most. And it's kind of interesting because I got into the ramen world as I was born. I was born when 2003, so that's maybe a year before like Momofuku came into New York, and then it was almost like a tradition where my family and I, like weekly or monthly, we'd go visit Momofuku Noodle Bar. I think there's a picture of me eating at Momofuku in like a stroller. When I finally turned 10 and I was like into cooking, like for real, that's when it was like, oh, I ate this growing up and I really liked it. This is something that I should jump on. Keizo, Shimamoto, Sakura Yagi, they've been really great mentors to me. I've just have all this knowledge from all these different places, and I'm just trying to figure out how to integrate it into ramen. I met Keizo in 2015. And I went up to him and I was like, I know who you are. You're the guy who like flips the ramen burger, and I hear you make really good ramen. And he's like, yeah, you're like the little chef boy. And I'm like, oh shit, he knows about me. Something that Keizo did very well was he balanced experience, variety, and finesse. There are places in New York that are like good, but they only have 2 or 1 out of the 3. Whenever anyone would ask me, oh, where's the best ramen in New York? I would always say, you could go to Ramen Shack and you could get the whole menu. You won't be bored at all. It's the best place in New York City. So I think the future of ramen involves like that idea of true fusion where ingredients are clearly connected. And I think if that starts anywhere, it has to be New York. Or people who studied in different places and they go back to Japan. New York ramen is so unique because people have already opened their eyes to just so many cuisines. You could go to a different block and the food just changes. And that's just like ramen. Like, because chefs have grown up in New York, the way that they understand ramen and nostalgia and culture is totally different.
All right, so thanks for coming in, and thank you for being my final customers at Ramen Shack.
So we're getting the last bowls of your ramen here ever.
Yes. I'm here to do more than just open a shop. So I think down the line, you know, I want to do more for ramen. I want to help other people build shops. I want to help other people build a noodle business. So I think there's more opportunity for me to help the ramen scene expand. And I think that's where the future for me is going to be.
New adventure.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it was
lucky.
such an honor, honestly. Thank you so much for having us.
We did. お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。Thank you so much for watching Gochi Gang. I so appreciate it. Sean, should they like and subscribe?
Like and subscribe, or else.
Thank you.